Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go over the FTP, FTO, FTA ride-along section of the training. This is the last phase before these officers are allowed to go on the road and, allowed to be actual CHP officers on their own without a person or personnel of the California Highway Patrol FTA, FTO program to be with them. So the first thing I do is usually it's between after the training, they get told how many ride-alongs they have to do. If they do a very bad job at the training, they're told to do 4 to 5 ride-alongs. As an FTO/FTA, you are to allow to add or remove ride-alongs based on how the personnel performs. If the cadet does a really good job and he has 4 ride-alongs, you can bump it down to 3. If the cadet does a horrible job on the first ride-along, you can bump it up to 4 or 5, or until they get it right, that many ride-alongs. One thing I will let you know is when these ride-alongs happen, we're going to explain exactly how to perform each ride-along if you were to have all the ride-alongs. So for the first ride-along, along with any ride-along, an FTA is not required to have an FTO present when conducting ride-alongs. So as an FTA, you can conduct the ride-alongs by yourself with nobody interfering. One thing that I will let you know is when conducting the ride-along, have the cadet jump in your vehicle at first. Don't use their Crown Vic. Show them what CHP is about. Show them your vehicle. Show them how you drive. They're gonna learn off you. From there, after that ride-along, that first ride-along, you should be doing everything, showing you how to use RTO, how to call out 1012, doing radio traffic, how RTO infringes the game, how to answer 911 calls, maybe perform a traffic stop and get into a 1080 and show them how those are done. If you need to, go into detail with everything you do. Make sure you provide detail to everything you do. The second ride-along needs to be, you can perform based off the following criteria. I usually let them drive their Crown Vic on the second ride-along. In the second ride-along, you should let the cadet drive. Let the cadet drive, let the cadet do half the work, you do the other half. The other half you should be doing is walking around, making sure everything's looking good, driving around, stuff like that. Maybe conduct a 1011, 1080, stuff like that. Conduct those simple but shortful things. Make it feels them at home. Like I said, you have free range on what happens. The third ride-along should be conducted with an FTO if they only require it. You are not to conduct all 3 ride-alongs if you're an FTO. You are not to conduct all 3 ride-alongs in FTA. You are not allowed to conduct all 3 ride-alongs, especially the last one, because it's only to be conducted by an FTO. An FTO will conduct the last ride-along. How it will work is the FTO will basically judge everything he does based off a criteria list, and if the FTO feels that he is worthy to drive, then he is cleared to be stated into this California Highway Patrol. If the FTO fails his last ride-along, he can issue another ride-along, a 4th ride-along. From there, when he issues that 4th ride-along, the cadet will need to retake it again with an FTO in order for them to pass. When conducting the FTO and FTA training, make sure you give them options. If they want to, you can let them, as an FTO, you can let them drive your vehicles at the time. So just let that be aware. Make sure they use everything within their vehicles to perform their duties. Let them know they have medical bags. Let them know they have all this. Let them know they have this and this. So let's go over some aspects of the RTO FTO. So as a cadet, let them get in the vehicle, work it out. They're going to be excited the first time. So allow them to experience the vehicle at first hand. From there, let them get out on the road. As I'm driving, you're going to notice a few things that I'm going to point out. See how they drive. Are they speeding through stop signs? Are they speeding through lights? Are they doing stuff like that? And if they are, don't be afraid to take them out of the area of roadway and let them drive around like Sandy. Sometimes I let them drive around Sandy and get experience out there. Each ride-along should take 30 to 45 minutes. The last ride-along needs to be conducted over an hour-long time span. FTOs, you're required to do an hour-long after that. It needs to be at least 30 to 45 minutes. It can be back-to-back, but it cannot be all three or all of them put together. As an FTO and FTA, you will need to show them everything you need to do. Proper road signals, driving, conducting traffic stops, moving over. All these things are required within the California Highway Patrol. Remember, don't be afraid to fail. If they don't do good on a ride-along, notify the cadet of what happened, and move on from there. Explain to them, hey, the reason why I'm not going to pass you on this ride-along is because of this, and this. But if you feel like they don't need it, they're excelling above officer standards, then go ahead and see how far they bring, stuff like that. Go through it and examine everything they do. How they drive, how they perform, are they driving efficiently, or are they in public endangerment, are they following proper road and safety laws? Everything comes into consideration when working with the California Highway Patrol. Make sure they are aware of this. One thing as an FTO, FTA, some little bit of advice is if you, when in doubt, tell them to read it out. That's my advice. So make sure all cadets are following proper road and safety regulations. This is a given. This must be conducted. If failure to conduct needs to be retrained. And don't be afraid to even retrain them. If you need to retrain them, tell them we're going to go to Zancudo and retrain them. Notify a higher up that you were conducting a retraining due to the lack of effort of training. From here on out, let the cadet drive around. Remember, they have a lot of equipment on their vehicle that they're going to want to know. Make sure they did Control X, turn on their radar, show them Signal 11, all of it. Like, go detail these RTO things so that the cadet can run it. Last but not least, if you're going to issue or add on or remove a ride-along,
small ass fucking barricade.
Just remember to add. Make sure you add it to the roster list and apply to the roster. So how you would do that is allow the cadet, after they've conducted that 30 to 45 minute run, you will go ahead and leave, go to Discord and CHP 1. Go from CHP, look for FTP request. From there, once you got the request, it's good to go. The cadet then will be notified of any call sign and you will give them a call sign. If you feel like the cadet could work on something better, but it's not working right away, notify them to watch one of the videos that I've created, or you can look at the documents and see how to do better. Make sure they're within CAD as well. CAD is very important. Cadets need to be within CAD in order to be solidified within the California Highway Patrol. If a cadet is not in CAD, and an officer and a FTO/FTA approves them on all three of their ride-alongs, you're just setting them up for failure. Please make sure they are qualified to do so. Non-negotiables are rude. If the officer fails to maintain life or failure to keep the peace of the public, these are non-negotiables. These are ones that we don't mess around. As an FTO, FTA, you are the leaders of this department. So make sure we're setting our standards higher than ever to perform the best abilities. At the end of the thing, make sure you notify the cadet to return to the nearest station so that we can see that they know where the stations are at. Once they've done this, you have completed their FTO and FTO and then now they are ready for success. If you feel like any questions you need, always contact a higher up above you. And hopefully this video was very informative about what the RTO request environment. Remember, it's always okay to be the representation of the department. If you gotta fail them, you gotta fail them. If you gotta pass them, you can pass them. Just make sure we're doing it efficiently. Quality over quantity every day of the week. And I want to appreciate you all for taking the time and welcome to the course. Hopefully this will help you with your RTOs and FTO ride-along trainings. Thank you.